Good afternoon, folks. It's 13:52 on the 11th day, 4th month, 2023. And I'm sorry I have to film it this way, but this is just the way it is. I'm having difficulties streaming and with clarity on my screen. And so I'm going to do it this way until I figure it out. Right. How many words can I use? Or as few words can I use to impress upon you how deadly this storm is going to be? This will be a tropical cyclone. I believe they're going to call it Isla, and which is one of the forms of Elizabeth, Lisa, and all sorts like that. Okay, so this storm is for you. And as this comes ashore, it's actually going to increase in strength, which is very unusual to me. Look at the eye actually became more round. And as it comes ashore, it's on the verge of a Cat 4. If the winds go to 125 miles an hour, something like that, you will have those winds. That will be indicative of a Cat 4. But you're definitely getting a Category 3. It's going to smack the shore. And it's going to zoom across the country. It's very, very low pressure. And as this comes ashore, it will spawn tornadoes. Count on it. It will be dumping deluges of rain. We're talking the water bucket challenge, not icy. Even as it comes ashore, the tailwind on that is dragging a hell of a storm surge with it. The bubble of water that's going to be taken up in the sea, it could be 15 meters even at a 951. As it came ashore even at a 960. Let's backtrack. The storm surge on this coming ashore, the center of this is like sucking up water in the bottom of a straw. And as it comes ashore, it's going to drop it on top of what the normal tides are going to be. And if it's high tide when this comes ashore, it's devastating. So what's important to know? Anybody that's got boats along this coastline right here, will want to move them from the marinas. I don't even see this one as being safe. Down here, it's very possible you'll find some safe harbor for your boats, but don't leave them in the marinas up here, or you will lose them. I don't want all this fuel spilling out in the ocean from this disaster. You're right on the edge of a Category 4. And if you add the forward motion of the storm to this side of the storm, and that, if it's over 6 mile an hour forward motion, you have a Category 4 hurricane. Or in your hemisphere, you call them cyclones. My God, this is going to be deadly. And so let's watch this very, very, very carefully here as I run this through. And this is a pretty accurate path that it's going to take as it comes ashore. Right? Instantly lost a lot of wind. And I'm going to switch to back to the other again. But even inland that far, you're at a Category 1, over Category 1 hurricane strength. Even here, right here, right? You're just under hurricane strength. So you're in a high category gale, right even inland this far. And you're going to spawn tornadoes when this eye breaks up. This is one of the most deadly landocanes I've ever seen. Because as it comes ashore, it's lost all that tropical moisture and water that we're told that feeds these storms. It's not there anymore. So it's being fed with electromagnetic frequencies and pressure differences generated over land. And as it gets in here on Friday, and this will be a Saturday morning early your time, Australia, it zooms across the country at incredible speed. If it goes across your country in a day and a half or 2,000 miles, that's 150 mile an hour, nearly top wind moving this across the country. This is going to be deadly. When this front crosses into that mountains over there, you guys are going to feel the shit. There's a dividing line of pressure that's been installed here in the trough here, it looks like in the weather plan and the 16. Can you see that okay? Then I'm going to go over to New Zealand. You're about to have a terrible, terrible 10 hours. As this storm makes its way through Cooks, you're going to see it reverse flow, where the flows go from that way to coming back in that way across Cooks. Look at this steamer here that's been generated through the flows on, this will be Monday, Australia time. Oh no, you ain't get out that easy. Yeah, there's heavy, heavy winds. But that's a big one coming. So, it's more of what's going on today that I really would like to address now. Let's go with the satellite images. Infrared, New Zealand, Europe. Right, Nelson, Richmond, Wellington, New Plymouth, and here you're on the brunt of receiving major tendril of moisture as it butts up against other moisture, and the condensates get really big and fall. You got a very dangerous day. I got the chem over here already loaded, and so we can go right to that. Over here is right as this. Let me move my camera around so you can see. Can you get that all right? Hope. I told you I'm gonna find a way to do this. Right, bombs right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna go back and go forward. Let's take the whole time. Boom. All right. Comes a crash. Boom, 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 boom. Plumes there. Chemtrail there. Giving you the old 7. Or some more bombs going over here. See them coming through. See the square edge of that? When that butts into that landmass over there, it's gonna drop. It's gonna rain. More bombs there as the flow is continuing through Cook Strait and finally coming through. It's going to allow a lot of stuff to come back up and around. So this stuff here comes and revisits. It will. And those totals will be increasing as the day goes on. And the tornadic potential over here in Nelson is very, very high still. Very, very, very high. And your earthquake risk is about to go mental when the flow switches back this direction. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Particle animation in, zip over here to the ZZs. Now let me show you what I'm talking about. As the storm comes across right now, all your flow is going through Cook's this direction, right? And the low comes through. It's still flowing through the strait. But there's going to be a moment when all the dynamics of this storm are going to change and flip back the other direction. Right about here. When the low has come to this side, the flow has to change. Another low has to form on both sides. You end up with 2 of them because of the suction flow. And it's going to suck the moisture back up and through this area. It's going to increase the totals down south and across the strait on the land that butts out. It's going to take that brunt. And then guess what happens? Gets scooped up and brought back. That same moisture is going to be haunting you guys for a while. It's just moving it around. Flow it here, flow it there, flow it there. Wetting in your underwear. Meanwhile, coming down from the tropics is a big tundra. Very big tundra. It's going to meet this colder air here. And when it does, it's going to be disastrous. So you are in for a wet 2 weeks. It's just going to be on and off, on and off. And you're going to use great care. Can you see that okay? I just wanted to show you the tropics coming down. Because I'd already showed you this coming across. And here in, this will be late night Tuesday in New Zealand. You're going to get another smackaroo. It's going to act like a wiper. Pivot, whammo. And there's the pivot. Here comes the whammo. Pulls that tropical tendril right down on top of you. Where this one catches it and mows it. And the potential for you having a TC here is high. Coming about 22nd. The weather for your eclipse day, looking good for the Xmas area for the total eclipse. That's great news that I'd like to see. Right, it's going to be a bit windy up there, so be careful. But enjoy yourself. The wonders of nature need to be nurtured in sight of everybody. And I love watching an eclipse. I love how the shadows in between the trees all turn into the shape of it. It's very neat. Right, here's what's going on right now over here in the north with the dangerous storm just trucking along. It's still considered a tropical storm right now. Invest area number 18, but the name it'll get will be Isla. And it was going to be a deadly storm. And if you're in the path of that storm and you don't heed warnings, you just don't heed warning. That's how loud the lightning's going to be. Decibels. Let's take this stat a little different. You got any spinners? So you got a lot of radar underneath there on that low deck. See that fuzz? Bzzz, getting fried, broom style. Right, you see that sign right there? That sign over here? It's short, that storm comes ashore right here between the gap. Right between the gap of the radar. It's the first chance it's had to come ashore. It shall start to, when that low comes to here, she'll curve very quickly inland. And she's going to be a smasher when she hits. Never seen a storm get stronger that close to shore before. I'm watching it. What kind of catalysts are going to be used to make that happen is the question. So as I zoom over here, yeah, it looked like a shit show at the East Coast. I'll show you. You can see some of the full skylashes right here straight away. You can see this thing has been fed to chem bombs and the catalyst needed to fuel the tropical cyclone, or as I sometimes call them, cyclone seasonings. Boom, 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 go the plumes over there to the north. Boom, 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 go the plumes to the south. Boom, 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 go the plumes right in your mouth every time you take a breath of air. Boom in here, boom in there. See the straight line with a center point of tendrilization, catalytic nucleation of cloud condensates? They're trying to say that 10 times faster, or even thinking of it. Well, look at this. She's finally starting to develop a spinning chem bomb eye. See it right there? Going back. It's spinning. Boom, 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 Mr. Geo-Man, make a cyclone from me. Boom, 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 just please don't swell all of our streams. Boom, 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 then send a storm over my house and it ain't over. Then killed my dreams before the night was over. Camba bomb man, Port Hedland looks safe. Boom, 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 but there's a will you're fucked without grace. Boom, 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 and as the shore comes, your shore is going to be looking a lot different after this one. Bomb, 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 bombed over here. Bomb, 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 bombed over there. We'll see where they're going to feed it to go. As it comes ashore, it's going to have its food and to roll around itself like a big old freaking Swiss roll, but instead of the cream in it, this is bad. We got a face with a big pointy chin. The only thing missing is but heart makes a different noise this day. Bzz, 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 bzz. Or maybe a whole bunch of Neanderthalics thinking is finally what the clouds will look like. Who knows? All I know is, boy, did you just get bombed north of Birdsville. They gave you the bird, man. Bird, bird, bird. The bird is the word. Yeah, the chem bomb. Suck is the word of the day. Spread the word. Getting think down a big R over there. Somebody doing some skywriting. It don't look like a love letter. It looks like a toxic letters. Toxic skies, watch chem bombs fly. How we doing over here off my reef? My reef. Oh, look at this over here off a weepa. A weepa, 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 weepa. Oh, I just hit my thing. Wow, that was unexpected. I needed to move it anyhow. Bong, go backwards. Okay, here we go. From a front to being fronted. They're fronting. Look. Boom, 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 plume, 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 plume. Here's another big arg or busting my balls for a raunchy looking skate. Raunchy. Raunchy skies. Raunchy rab skies. He says fuck too much, and sometimes he says chem bomb. And you thought I was going to say cunt, didn't you? Oh, you worked it in. Do we have any comments here? A couple of us currently watching from Caretha. Well, hello, Caretha, Janita Winthrop. I hope you have a less chem-bombiest day than some of these people seem to be having. My God, the chem bombs are really evident today. What's this over here? Oh, look at that one there, huh? Over here, over there, toxic there. Boom! See it? See the plume? See the shockwave coming out in front of it, known as a percussion ring? And bomb tendrils following it. Oh, God. If one of them came out of our bombs, it would lock us up. If your car polluted like this, you'd get a ticket. But yet, there they are. Every day, jet planes going by, leaving trails that is just pollution. It just don't go away. Call it what it is. It's pollution. Alright. Cam Bam's going over Hobart. Hobart needs a new mixer. Boom, 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 boom. Tendrils from the Angel of Death. A big square, some kind of grid over here for him. Right over, we can bring it into view right here. Oh, what a shame. See it right there? Oh, it's a bomb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Giving an EMF look. Yep. They done fucking made a wheat checks in your sky. Mode wheat. We don't need to vaccinate the sky. No vaccine is safe. And I think one size don't fit all. And the animals out here deserve some sunshine. They probably need vitamin D too. You know, showing your dick isn't how you get your vitamin D, and while you get your vitamin B, kind of different in that kind of way goes too. You had one hanging out. Look at these tendrils going over the coastline here, hitting the EMF, just bombing you guys up. My God, you poor folks. This is like the major population centers of Australia itself is along this coastline. You taxified Yeah, 60% of the population just in this one area right here. If we work Brisbane in it, we dang sure got that. Thousands and thousands and thousands of square miles. 100,000 square miles easily account. You want to calculate that? Let's hope the feed can keep going. I'm going to calculate it. Care what Paul McCartney's doing. How's Billy sharing his work? Billy Shears. Let's see how big a combine field if I measure around here. All right, let's measure. Let's measure all this chem here. How much bombs did it take to make that storm look the way it did? Measure an area. Maybe we just go right. Oh, there's a chem. Yeah, I don't know what's under there, so I can't call it. Boom, 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 boom. See all that down there? Right, I've got 1,611,205 square kilometers of toxified air. And I could have added more. And that would be in miles. Over 500,000 square miles of toxified skies. What a fucking shame. What a fucking shame. I mean, really. This is allowed to continue. So I hope this forecast helped you a bit to see what's coming. I'm going to go now and look at some of the totals. Alright, let's get your totals now. Totality. But it's looking good for your eclipse. Everybody keeps asking me about that. Your 3-day totals when it curves in is an absolute devastation fuckery of which you've never seen before with the winds. The winds are going to be blowing so much stuff ashore. This road is gone. Don't get caught out on Route 1. Don't get caught over here in the Warren Conservation Area. Don't get caught here. If you get trailers, anything along here, move it or lose it. What's your gas cans? What's your contaminants? The oil drums, anything that's waste. We ain't changing oils and stuff. Get that stuff out of these areas. We don't want to taxify our land anymore than it's about to get. This river here is fucked. Hey, the wind is going to hem up in here, and if you got boats along in here anywhere, move them. Move them now. You have time. As we approach the 10 days, holy fucking shit, the sweat, the destruction across your country has happened so quickly. So quickly. 5 days from now, that shit's gone. That's how quick this shit's coming and going. That's a hell of a damn total all at once. All at fucking once. 5 centimeters calming. 5 centimeters calming. I say 10 to 20 centimeters calming. They're saying 23. It's a very good guess. And then at the storm surge today, totally fucked. And Nelson, you still good. They're still saying more coming. When I go over to Access, it's not looking any better. Now, you see what they're calling for the Wakatani on the 10s? That wasn't there yesterday? Yeah, they're planning something. They get a plan for you. I kind of on the 5s should show a really good totals of over here. You're absolutely fucked. And the winds and stuff and the devastation along this path until it gets to about here. Oh my God. Really. You better take this seriously. Hooray. I don't want to hear your cries. Even your grapes of wrath are going to be wrathful. It's that storm that's going to come through the bite that I showed. Right? Your totals are high, close to 5 centimeters through. Some of these will see 68. As some of these tendrils come ashore. Entire coast road is about to see some fuckery on the 10s. Absolutely is. Don't get caught out there that day that's coming across. Because the winds are going to, on the high side of vehicles, could be enough for you to lose them. You be careful out there, folks. This is nothing to be taken lightly. This is a very serious situation. This is absolutely a man-made storm. You've got about 50 hours along this coastline before that's there. But you'll be feeling its influence long before then. As she rounds that corner up there. Did you see that stat? There's 40 centimeters. Yeah, these tendrils here are common. You have to react now. If you don't react now, you might not have time to. You see that splash? Well, those tendrils are how many they broke this storm up into. It's how they drive them apart with EMF. And I haven't really looked at, I did last night at Mimic, and I'm absolutely convinced where I got my arrow right here. is where she's coming ashore. Pretty much dead center on that. And the worst winds will be on this side. And that means worse storm surge. And, my God, you poor folks. Right. With that said, I hope that suffices. Big love. Stay safe. Peace.